Hello YouTube, Millennium X17 here. We are now done with the Xbox media briefing. 90 minutes, nothing but games. That is good. A lot of live demos on stage. That is even better. Definitely a step in the right direction for Microsoft. So, starting off, Phil Spencer came out, gave a nice speech about, passion and creativity for developers to build and create games and all that good stuff. It was basically a big thank you for purchasing an Xbox if you did, before the price drop and all that good stuff. They started with a live demo of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. A lot of these games, you'll hear me say it looks good and it plays smooth. It's because they do. I mean, obviously, I'm not there looking at the actual screen the thing's being played on. I'm watching it over Spike TV, which is it hiccuped a couple times throughout the broadcast, but by and large, the game looked good. It had a weird Wild Wild West metal spider thingy tank and then it had this weird swarm out of the Matrix again. Call of Duty, they've broken the fourth wall so many times I don't even pay attention to how ridiculous some of the things that they come out with are. But it looked all right to me. Comes out on November 4th of this year. So, next up, Turn 10 Studios, Forza 5, they thanked everybody for buying the game, and then they announced, for free, available right now today, is one of the tracks that they should have come out with Forza 5. I'll probably download it and play with it for about 20 minutes sometime, but, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but the Nürburgring, it's, that's the big track in Germany. Why they didn't ship with that from launch is beyond me, but neither here nor there. Moving on. Probably going to want to move along very quickly because I don't want to have this take, be a 35-minute video, but Playground Games came out with Forza Horizon 2. It is a full 1080p for all those who care about graphics and resolution. Dynamic weather, that's interesting. Drivatars, apparently your Drivatar, if you've played Forza 5, since it's on the Forza 5 engine, your Drivatar is already driving in Forza Horizon 2. That works. More social nonsense that nobody cares for or wants or ever asked for. It comes out on 9/30/2014. So definitely going to check that out. Forza 5, as I've said 100 times before, is the best simulation racer out today. It's just not a fun game. Oh well, what are you going to do? Turtle Rock Studio came out with a pre-rendered trailer for a game called Evolved. Kind of looks like Borderlands, sort of. Very early on in the development cycle for that. We'll see how that goes. Someone from Ubisoft came out who, I couldn't pronounce their name if my life depended on it, and as such I definitely did not spell their name correctly. So, whatever. Assassin's Creed Unity, live demo, 4-player co-op live demo. So that was actually pretty cool. Again, it looks okay, plays pretty smooth. I have Assassin's Creed Black Flag in my bedroom for the PlayStation 4. I've yet to play past the initial first, training area. After you sail the ship out of that little cove area, that's about as far as I've gotten. And I've never played the Assassin's Creed games. It's kind of sad because they look pretty damn good. And this looks good too. They were sneaking into this building and getting some member of royalty out and threw him down to the crowd below, and the peasants, as he called them, that were rioting down there, tore his head off and put it on a pole. So, it definitely looks good. Graphics are there. It looks solid. We'll see where it goes. BioWare came out with a pre-rendered trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition coming out October 7th, 2014. The weird thing that I noticed, and even Dark God noticed it as well, that the character models looked weirdly shiny. I don't know why or what the deal with why they would want to make them look like. It looks as if they've just been through a light rain shower and their clothes and their face and everything looks shiny for me. I don't know. It's something that I notice every time I see it, and it's just, I can never not notice it when I pick it up. So it's I don't know why they do that. Whatever. Anyway, the next up is a game that I'm probably going to end up buying. It's a game that it looks like I'm going to enjoy it a lot, but it's also the type of game that I'm going to probably be terrible at. But Insomniac came out with Sunset Overdrive. Now this, It was a pre-rendered trailer, breaking the fourth wall the entire way. Crazy and over the top. Apparently the energy drink in this universe, the overcharge or whatever the hell it's called, is contaminated of some sort. It's poisonous or whatever, and it turns these people into these zombie monster things. And that's the whole premise behind the game, is you just need to survive with style. And it's like, alright, interesting. It's like Borderlands crossed with like Tony Hawk and a bit of Bulletstorm. That's what I was thinking of. It's a little bit of Bulletstorm in there. They then went through with a live demo of the gameplay, more breaking of the fourth wall. The character actually took and pushed the third-person camera back some. It's kind of funny, so it's, again, it looks fun, it runs smooth. I'm going to probably end up buying this game. I'm not going to be any good at it, though. I can already tell. It's one of those ones you go to YouTube for to see, perfect runs of. It looks like there's going to be a lot of speed and style involved with fighting and combat, so it definitely is crazy. It's definitely over the top. As to what your end goal in such a game will be, I'm not sure of. Time will tell, but it definitely looks promising. October 28th, 2014. So, moving on from there, we have Capcom comes out with the most bizarre thing of the entire show, I have to say. Dead Rising 3 DLC, and it is... You know how Capcom does the Super Street Fighter 4... Super Turbo Arcade Edition remix. Okay, so it's literally Dead Rising 3 Super Turbo Arcade Mix Ultra Super Awesome Edition, or something. It's like something like, I was turning around, I'm looking, I'm like, is that really the name? I didn't write it down. I just said Dead Rising 3 DLC, that's what it is. Apparently, you can play as different characters throughout the Dead Rising series, and including Frank West, and you also. You could change your costume to anything that's ever been a Capcom character beforehand. It looked nutty. Completely over the top and insane. Definitely the weirdest thing of the briefing. So, moving on. Harmonix came out, talked about how their success with Dance Central was beforehand. Then they moved on quickly to Fantasia. Music Evolved, talked about that. I think he said it was coming this year, but I didn't catch what date that is exactly. But then he also said that Dance Central Spotlight is a downloadable game, and that will be coming September 2014. So, Dance Central fans out there, anybody out there with an Xbox One and a Kinect, obviously today I think is the day that the Kinectless Xbox One goes on sale. Pretty sure. I have a Kinect. I'll probably only use it if something important comes out for it. Obviously, me and my build, being that of fat and round, Dance Central is not exactly something I'm going to be busting that out for, but neither here nor there. Lionhead came out with Fable Legends 4-player co-op live demo. According to Kaz, she was here, and she said the voice accents, which she said there were a couple Scottish accents, there was a couple English accents in the voice actors, and she said that they were horribly faked and off sounding. So, I wouldn't know. They sounded alright to me, but to her, being that she's from the UK, I would think she would know stuff like that. So she noted that. You can also play as the villain in this game. As the hero is your third-person action-adventure type game. As the villain, it plays kind of like an RTS. You have this like top-down, almost maybe skewed 45 degrees top-down perspective where you can set different traps and what have you. It looks really interesting. So, again, Fable's another one of those games that I never really got into, and I've kind of missed the boat on. It looked good, but then again, a lot of the stuff they showed did. Microsoft Game Studios comes out with Project Spark. It's a Little Big Planet, that's what it is, LBP. A Little Big Planet clone for the Xbox. Pre-rendered trailer, just as we said, I think we had that last year as well. So, again, no real date that I noticed that they showed of it, and it is also, they also said that they've remade a Conquer game, or they made a Conquer game in Project Spark. Okay, so it definitely looks interesting. It's probably something that I will definitely check out. As to how much legs it has, nobody will know until it happens. So, Moon Studios comes out with, and this looks like a very promising game. Also, maybe looks like a downloadable title for Xbox Live Arcade. It's called Ori and the Blind Forest. It is a side-scrolling type game. Think of maybe almost like Limbo, but with more color. It definitely looks interesting. This little tiny fox thingy. You know what? Think of and now his name totally just escaped me. The little furry creature from Madoka Magica. And I totally just blanked on his name. It kind of looks like that character that you're playing as, and you're supposed to... I don't know exactly what the point of the game is, but it looks like what would probably end up being a very difficult platformer. So, that looks damn good. DGA said that she would really like to play that game. Except it's on Xbox One, and she doesn't have one of those. So, again, definitely looks like that's a good one to check out. I'm interested in that one now. Definitely has my... And that's a pre-rendered trailer, I believe, yeah. For that. Oh, and then, of course, the time that we were all debating as to how long it would take for them to get to Halo, and it took about this long. It was about halfway into the show, I think it was. 343 Industries comes out with Halo, the Master Chief Collection. I used to care about Halo a lot. Then I played too much of Halo 3 and kind of got bored with it and moved on. If you're a Halo fan, this actually looks and sounds to be insanely awesome. So the Master Chief Collection comes out November 11th, 2014. It includes all 4 Halo games on one disc. They then went and did a live multiplayer demo for Halo 2. And it looks like it's the original thing. And they said that in this game disc, it's on one disc, and the layout works is that you can go from everything's open and unlocked from the beginning, so you can go from the 3rd chapter of Halo 1 to the 5th chapter of Halo 3 to, for the campaigns, the 3rd chapter there, and then in the last chapter of Halo 2, and then same to Halo 4, and you can custom order whatever you want. To myself, I don't know why you would do that, but nonetheless. Then also for the multiplayer side of it, it is all running in 1080p, 60... I don't know if he said 60 frames per second or not. But it is running all 100 maps from all 4 Halo games. Over 100 of them are all on this one disc, and they all play 1080p on their original game's engine over Xbox Live on dedicated servers. Damn. That is fucking impressive. That really is. Like, that really got the crowd going. I think that was the biggest cheer of the whole thing. That is quite huge if you are a Halo fan. I might even check that out. I haven't played Halo in, I'm not even joking, 100 years. It's since Halo 3 even. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it's been a long, long while. So it's definitely a good game. They did not say the price of this. It sounds like it's going to be rather expensive. Time will tell. I would imagine that they are going to have pre-orders are available soon, I would guess. But neither here nor there. Halo Nightfall, the series that bridges the gap between Halo 4 and Halo 5 by producer Ridley Scott, ships with it, as well as also shipping with this package is a multiplayer beta for Halo 5 Guardians. Now, again, that's a really good bundle. It also leads me to believe that it's going to be significantly more than $60. Neither here nor there. Phil Spencer came back out, said that everything up to this point is coming out in 2014. So now Xbox's calendar for the rest of 2014 has been filled in a little bit better than it was. It's not exactly what I would consider busy, though. But July definitely is still quite dry, as it is every year. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, all games from this point forward are either 2015 or 2016 releases. And then first up after this speech was Playdead with a new game that they're working on called Inside. This looks like something that I am definitely going to get. It's similar to Limbo, dark tone. It's kind of almost like oh god, now my brain's going blank. My brain just went blank. Whatever. My brain is all over the place today, but it's similar to Limbo, kind of dark in tone. You're some sort of a young child going through what looks like some sort of almost like quasi-prison school type system. So it's Pink Floyd. That's what I was trying to think of. From the Wall album. What's the name of the song now? I can't even think of myself now. My brain is all over the place. But anyway, think of that. That's what it seems to be like. You're running away from what seems to be authority type figures, and you're hiding from lights and spotlights, and then you got a bunch of other children that are marching in line, just like the Pink Floyd song, which I seemed, for whatever reason, as soon as I remember it, I'm going to kick myself, because I should know that. But it looks interesting. DGA said she liked that game as well. I am definitely getting this game because it looks damn good. It's not all like Limbo where it's black in the forefront and light in the back. This does seem to have more color to it, and it is also in fully rendered 3D. So, looks pretty interesting. That was a pre-rendered trailer. Yes, it was. So, interesting. Up next was a bunch of, it was like a montage of indie game showcase that all the games switch between each other, between the name of the games and who made them, so quickly that there's no chance in hell for me to write that all down. I'd imagine if you go on the internet and you could probably find the list of games that they showed, all of them look completely different. All of them look rather interesting. So Microsoft's obviously stepping up their indie games from what it was, complete 180 from what it was last year. Last year with Don Matrick at the helm, it kind of was, all the indie developers were kind of given the wall, in as they usually do with such a closed system that Xbox Live is. They're definitely opening that up and loosening some of the restrictions, which is good. They need to. But so, Crystal Dynamics came up with a pre-rendered trailer of a game that I'd imagine is in super early development. And I know it's Crystal Dynamics, even though they never said. It's got to be Crystal Dynamics because the game is Rise of the Tomb Raider. So another Lara Croft game. Definitely looking forward to that. The reboot of Tomb Raider not too long ago was excellent. So, CD Projekt Red came out with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt live demo. Again, The Witcher, a series that I've never gotten into. It's on the same line as, say, Dark Souls, where it's a super hard RPG, super specific. You got to know exactly what to do. You can't just mash the button and keep attacking in that type of an RPG. Looks good. What they're doing with it is impressive. I'll say that. It's a Skyrim type game where the open world is insane. So, I don't know if I'll check that up or not. Again, it is a harder RPG. I don't really play games anymore for difficulty. I play games to have fun. Maybe not my cup of tea, but that is definitely an excellent series. I know it. From what every demo I've seen of The Witcher is an incredible series. So, there's that. Ken Lobb came out and showed a PRT for a game called Phantom Dust. And I don't know who Ken Lobb's, what development studio he works for. They never said. And Phantom Dust almost looked like something that it's a reboot of some sort from the original Xbox. It looks like a game that I should know, but from whatever reason I'm drawing a total blank for. And again, I don't even, looking at this pre-rendered trailer, I don't even know what it was. Is it a fighting game? I don't know. It could be. I don't know. So, we'll have to wait and see more on that. I don't honestly remember that game in any way, shape, or form, but though it does look as though I should know it. That's the strange thing, and I'm drawing this weird conclusion, like it's on the tip of my tongue, like I should know it, but it doesn't ring any bells whatsoever. We'll see what it does. It's a pre-rendered trailer. They showed almost no information about it whatsoever. I'd imagine that is in very, very early development. If anything, I would almost say that that's a 2016 release. But Massive Entertainment came out with Tom Clancy's The Division, another live demo. It is looking very, very nice. A 4-player live demo, nonetheless. So that, I'm very much definitely getting The Division. The only thing I don't like is this whole thing of developers and publishers nowadays seem to like you always must have multiplayer. And everything that I've seen from The Division, it almost leads me to believe that you can't be successful if you're not in a group of friends in multiplayer, which again, I don't like to play multiplayer. I like to play single player to have fun. And again, if I'm going to end up playing a game that is forcing multiplayer down on me, again, I don't know if this is the right direction a game should be going. Should all games do this? No. Even though they are. I'll see how I like the multiplayer thing with Destiny later this year, But, you know, we'll see how that goes. You know, it definitely looks good. Platinum Games came out with a pre-rendered trailer for a game called Scalebound, which, okay, interesting enough. David Jones came out for a pre-rendered trailer for Crackdown. They're actually bringing Crackdown back. Another game that I never really got into. That was a first-gen Xbox game, I believe, if I remember correctly. Or was that 360? I can't even remember. I never really played Crackdown. So, everything that I've been told about Crackdown is that it's very good. I just never got around to it. Unfortunately, you know, that whole backlog of doom that we all have. But either which way. After the pre-rendered trailer for Crackdown, Phil Spencer came out, thanked everybody for showing what they showed, reminded everybody that you saw 90 minutes solid worth of games, which I do have to give Microsoft a big thumbs up for that. However, something that a lot of people might be surprised about, there was no shock value. There was no announcement that was like and surprised people. So while this press conference was most definitely on the right page and going in the right direction, they just didn't bring any punch to it. It was very much by the numbers, and as such, while solid, definitely, I'll give it. It's definitely a passing grade. Definitely a passing grade. It just didn't have no punch, no excitement, no amazement. There was nothing that really got me jazzed about, wow, that's coming, I didn't know that. No, there was none of it. It was just kind of, you know, same stuff, different day. You know, it's more of the usual, more of the same. You know, just here are some games, which is good. They didn't talk about any of the motion bullshit that nobody wants or ever asked for. They didn't talk about any of the entertainment or TV nonsense that nobody wants and nobody asked for. So on that front, it is good. We'll just have to see. Here in about 35 minutes, I think EA is going on. So we'll have to see what they have to bring, though Microsoft definitely set the bar, I don't want to say high, but it's definitely a solid place to set it for being first out. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So the Xbox media briefing is over. Up next, I believe, should be EA, if I remember correctly. So until that point in time, and until next time, you guys have yourselves a good day.